Little Kagome, here's some milk for you. Thank goodness she's happy with it. Ugh, I'm exhausted. Even though she is my cute niece, it's difficult to take care of her every single day. I did finish my work for today. I should get sleep too. My name is Kyoko Kisaragi, 25 years old. I work as a web writer, which means I work from home. Recently, things have taken off for me and my income has increased little by little.
Oh, Kagome, is your little stomach empty? I'll give you some milk, so just wait a little bit longer.
Kagome is full of energy, isn't she?
You think so too, Kyoko?
And the name Kagome is also so cute.
Isn't it?
If I had to choose, her face looks more like you. I'm sure your husband must be so happy.
I hope so too. We'll see.
Yes, it's your Auntie Kyoko.
I want Kagome to become a celebrity in the future.
Like an actress or something?
She's going to become a popular child actress, and she's going to be in a lot of movies and TV series.
You're getting ahead of yourself. My older sister recently gave birth. The baby was a baby girl, and her name was Kagome. Her puffy cheeks and her face when she's drinking milk are just so cute. And now that I've become an aunt, I'm totally obsessed with her. One day,
Kyoko, sorry to show up like this.
Kotomi, you should have at least called me if you were coming.
I had plans come up that I just couldn't reschedule. So would you mind looking after Kyoko for just 3 hours?
What?
Don't worry, I brought her milk and her toys over for you.
But I also have work to do.
Come on. You should prioritize the baby over work.
Even if you say that.
Kagome, you want to drink Coke? Let's have your Auntie Kyoko feed it to you later. So anyway, I'll be back before the evening to come pick her up.
Kagome had just been born not long ago, but my older sister left her newborn baby with me and disappeared off to somewhere. I guess I'll just have to do my work in the late hours of the night. Yes, Kagome. Let's drink some milk and calm down. A few hours later, she's finally asleep. But also, what on earth is my sister doing? Even though it's past the pickup time. Kotomi, it's already been past 3 hours. When are you going to come pick her up?
So sorry. I was hanging out with my friends and having too much fun. I wasn't looking at the clock.
You know, Kagome was crying the entire time. I had to hold her and take her outside on walks. It was quite the handful.
Maybe you weren't good at calming her down?
That's not the problem here.
Oh, that reminds me. I'm not going to be able to come home today, so just look after her for the night, please.
Huh?
I'll go pick her up tomorrow morning. Bye-bye.
Wait a minute. Kotomi! The messages from my sister stopped, and even when I called, I didn't seem like she was going to pick up at all. I was stuck to Kagome, and I was in no place to be able to finish my work. I deeply apologized to the clients, and I asked them to extend the deadline a little bit.
Please, I'll give you an allowance for it.
There's no way I can do that every day.
Please, I'm begging you. Come on, my dear little sister.
And first of all, what does she mean, allowance? I don't think she has enough awareness as a mother.
You work from home, so you have a lot of freedom, right? So you can play with my daughter, right? Please.
You're underestimating remote work too much.
Come on, I'm saying please.
Ever since that day, my sister came over to my apartment regularly. I would try to find any moment that my niece was sleeping and was somehow able to continue my work, but I wasn't getting much sleep, and my skin was starting to break out. At the very least, can you give me money for the diapers and her food? I can't always be paying for it.
Why should I have to pay you money?
What do you mean, why?
I'm a full-time housewife, you know. You want to squeeze money out of someone that's not working?
Well then, will you tell me everything about where you're going and what you're doing?
It doesn't matter at all. It's none of your business anyway.
This is suspicious. Very suspicious.
We're family after all, so it should be free. You're earning more than enough anyway, aren't you?
Then what she was saying about giving me an allowance earlier,
Kagome, I know. Your Auntie Kyoko is being so scary.
Stop saying things like that to your daughter.
So anyway, thank you very much.
Kagome is my very cute niece and my precious family. But even still, there's a limit to how far you can take things. Looks like I might need to do some research on my own sister. I thought my sister's actions were suspicious, so a few days later, I went to go visit her in her husband's house. Even when I rang the doorbell, nobody's answering. Maybe she's out shopping? I don't want to do anything like a thief, but maybe I can just peek in from the window. I did feel a little bad about it, but I ran around to the backyard and I peeked into the living room from the window. But there, what I saw through the window was...
Soichiro, I love you!
I love you too, Kotomi.
What? Really?
Have I ever lied to you until now?
No, you haven't, but...
Must be hard for you, Kotomi, since Rei is on an overseas assignment and you have to do everything by yourself.
Exactly. And I've been asking my little sister to help me, but she tells me to do it on my own, and she's so cold. You know how they say children are the treasure of a country? Don't you think everybody should be raising them together?
That's true. That's a good point.
But at least while Kagami is sleeping, I think I just want to make love with you, Soichiro.
You're always welcome with me.
Sweet Soichiro.
It's in the middle of the afternoon. What the hell are you two doing? My older sister had brought a man over to her house. The reason why I rang the doorbell but she didn't answer must be because she's pretending not to be home. Seeing the scene of my sister cheating, like it was a drama series, and made my head dizzy. Even though my brother-in-law is working so hard overseas, as her younger sister, this is so embarrassing. I went back to the front door and I took a deep breath. I pretended like I didn't know anything and I tried ringing the doorbell once again.
You're so annoying. I told you we don't want the newspaper. Wait, I was wondering who it was, but it's you, Kyoku.
Hello, my wonderful big sister.
Stop talking weirdly like that. What do you want from me?
I just came to check on my little niece. I thought it might be hard for you to do everything by yourself, so I was coming here to help you.
Kyoku, are you okay? Did you catch a cold?
How rude. I'm totally normal.
Even though you were so reluctant to look after Kagami before?
What a way to say it. That's not true. When I am not working, it's fine. I just didn't want you to force them all to me every day.
Oh, well, it's nice to see that you also have a heart inside of you, Kyoku.
Can you stop naturally dissing me like that? My sister then sank into thought for a few seconds, and as though a light bulb went off in her, her face brightened up.
If you came all this way to my place, that means that I can leave Kagami with you, right?
Well, now that my work has calmed down a little.
That's perfect timing! I was just thinking about going out right now.
Even though you were pretending not to be home, stop telling such an obvious lie.
And it looks like Kagami is really comfortable with you, so do you mind if I ask you to look after her?
Even if I say no, you're already planning on it, aren't you?
You're so helpful! I'm so lucky to have a little sister.
Kotomi then got Kagami from the baby room and brought her out to the front door and left her with me. Her sleeping face made her look like a real-life angel, and I couldn't help but smile. Kagami, you've gotten so big, haven't you?
Oh yeah, it's already been a few months now.
All right, come and pick her up when you say you will.
No, thanks, Kyoku.
You were pretty deep in conversation there. Who was it?
It was a newspaper salesman. Even when I said we didn't need the newspaper since I don't read it, he was so annoying me, asking me to buy it just one time.
If you had just told me, I would have given him a strong word and turned him away.
When I told him to get lost, he got scared and he quickly disappeared somewhere.
That's the Kotomi I know.
Who was that man in the living room? Is my sister having an affair? There were a mountain of things that I wanted to ask, but I headed back home while gently patting Kagami on the back. I should have secretly taken a photo. If I even had a little bit of evidence, I would be able to confront her about the affair. I was beating myself up about it, but while giving my niece milk. And then, after I got a certain message from a certain person, the wind completely changed direction.
Hey, Kyoko, long time!
It has been a long time. It's really rare for you to message me, Ray.
Well, even if I'm overseas, as long as I have internet, I can get in touch with people.
No, that's true.
I'm sorry to bother you out of nowhere like this, but there's something I wanted to ask you, Kyoko.
What's the matter?
Recently, I haven't been able to get a hold of Kotomi.
What?
Even when I message her, I don't get any response, and when I call her, I just get continuously sent a voicemail.
But you weren't blocked, were you?
Yeah, not that I can tell.
Actually, I had been debating whether to discuss this with my brother-in-law. Because he's working overseas, it would be difficult for him to come back immediately. And that being said, I felt like saying nothing was kind of the same as being an accomplice. Hey, Ray, to tell you the truth, my sister might be having an affair.
Huh?
I was worried about my niece, so the other day I went to her house. But then she was in the living room with a man I don't know.
Wait a minute, did you say niece?
Yes, my sister gave birth to the sweetest baby. Her name is Kagami.
When was she born?
I do think it's been a while already.
I don't know, I'm hearing about this for the first time right now, that Kotomi gave birth.
What?
First of all, I didn't even hear from her that she was pregnant.
Wait a minute, is that?
Can you tell me a little bit more in detail about this?
The last time my brother-in-law came back to Japan was already over a year ago. I assumed that my sister got pregnant with Kagami at that time. Right now, I heard that he's so busy that it's hard for him to even come back to visit, and the only way to contact him was through messages or phone calls. When I explained the whole situation to him, my brother-in-law was unexpectedly very calm.
So that's what was going on. Thank you for telling me.
Ray, I'm so sorry. I should have realized a lot sooner.
You didn't do anything wrong, Kyoko. I'm the one that was clueless.
That's not true. Ray, I know that you were always thinking about my sister.
To be honest, I have so much work piled up, I can't come home right away. So I was hoping you could do something about Kotomi in my place.
Of course.
I'm sure it's gonna be difficult if you do it alone, so please work together with my brother.
If I remember correctly, his name is Ken, right?
You met him once at the wedding, didn't you?
Yes. You can leave all of this to me. My brother-in-law gave me the contact for his little brother, and I ended up working together with him. First, we needed to come up with a plan, so a few days later, we met up at a cafe. So that's the situation.
I see. That's pretty evil, and it's infuriating.
Yes.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to speak poorly of your sister.
Please don't worry about it, because I'm pretty much certain that my sister is having an affair.
It would be hard for us to suddenly barge in and make them confess.
I think the only thing we can do is hire a detective agency.
Let's go ahead and get an appointment, and with my older brother as the guarantor, I'll also discuss it with a lawyer.
Ken was 1 year younger than me, and in his second year of working. He was working at a major sports gym, and he was a really reliable guy. The plan steadily moved forward, and it was finally the day of action. The investigation into the affair was already complete, and we had more than enough evidence, as if we're going to let her get away with this. We are calling you out. Kotomi Miyanohara, stay calm and come out of the house immediately.
What the hell is this? So loud.
Oh, you came out pretty quickly today.
I am sleep deprived over here. You're making my ears ring. Can you lower your voice?
Yeah, pardon me.
Aren't you Ray's little brother? Hey, don't just barge in.
Pardon me, too?
Who the hell are you?
I'm Kotomi's little sister, Kyoko Kisaragi, and I've been waiting for this day for a long time now.
What are you talking about?
As we stomped our way into the living room, there was a guy that was laying across the sofa, the same guy that was all over my sister that day. Kotomi, where's Kagami right now?
Sleeping in the baby room on the second floor.
In that case, I don't need to worry. First, will you tell me about that guy that's right there?
It's none of your business, is it, Kyoko? Now hurry up and get out.
I refuse.
You're seriously the worst sister.
His name is Soichiro, 28 years old, former colleague of my brother-in-law. And to put it more bluntly, he's the man you're having an affair with.
How do you know about Soichiro?
Oh, did you think that I didn't know anything? You kept leaving Kagami with me so many times that I thought something was strange.
This is the evidence of your affair. What did you say?
What we presented them with were pictures that would make you ask what on earth they could possibly be doing besides an affair. And most of them were from the time that Kagami was being left with me. Mr. Soichiro, you were practically like a best friend to my brother-in-law. Before he went on his overseas assignment, I heard that you were often invited to this house and drink together.
How much research did you do? We already know that Kagome isn't my brother's child, which means that you were trying to forge the fatherhood.
You're wrong. That baby is Ray's daughter.
When my brother was home last time at around the exact same timing as you spent the night with your husband, you went to the hotel with Soichiro, didn't you?
That's...
Thanks to the detective doing a thorough investigation, we've already recorded your conversation. You really shouldn't be talking about your affair in a public bar like that.
Shut up!
When you became pregnant with Kagami, at first you didn't know whose baby it was, did you? And then when you did a DNA test to confirm...
It turns out that it was the child of your affair.
How did you do that much research? You're basically a stalker.
You're the last person I want to be told by. I feel so sorry for Ray. He was worried because he couldn't get a hold of you, all the while you were having fun with your boyfriend.
Why did you have an affair? My brother loved you from the bottom of his heart. The reason why he chose to go on the overseas assignment? It was all for you, Kotomi!
Because...
It wasn't like he was going to be overseas forever. Once he finished with his job, you know he's going to come back here. And didn't you send him off because you understood that?
You know nothing. Stop talking like you know anything.
Well, my sister was kicking and screaming, Soichiro had been silent the entire time. But little by little, he started to talk.
I was jealous of that guy. I was 1 year older than Rei, and I worked hard in order to get promoted. And yet Rei's reputation only continued to grow, and before I knew it, he had already passed me. So it was jealousy. In reality, I should have been the one that went for the overseas assignment. And not only that, he got married to a beautiful woman like Kotomi. He's seriously irritating, that bastard. That was your only reason, and you destroyed a person's entire family over that. My brother hasn't done anything that he should be so despised by a person. Because of your selfishness, do you have any idea how hurt my brother was? Why should I care? And it's not only my brother, you also caused trouble to Kyoko here. Do you understand what you've done?
Ken was angrier than I had ever seen him. I know that he looked up to his big brother, and the brothers also got along well. And I also prayed for my sister's happiness, so I understand how he feels.
Don't look down on me and lecture me. This is Rei's fault for leaving me.
Kotomi, cut it out already and just accept it. You're still going to make excuses?
If Rei hadn't gone overseas, I would have never cheated on him.
You're the worst.
You can say whatever you want. It's not going to hurt me in the slightest.
Even after we've come this far, you're still going to say that?
Because what's the point of apologizing to Rei at this point? At this rate, he should just not come back anymore.
You don't have any right to become a mother anymore, Kotomi.
What?
Without even thinking about how your husband would feel, you've only been acting selfishly. And I can't think that you're going to raise a child. So I'm going to take Kagumi.
Excuse me?
And would you be okay with that, Mr. Soichiro?
You witch!
Kagumi is still so little, and she doesn't know right from wrong yet either. But even still, I want her to receive a lot of love and grow into a good person.
Kyoko!
To you, Kotomi, you might think that this was just one passing moment. But even if it is, I'm still worried about Kagumi. When my sister heard my words, she looked like she was about to cry. Or so I thought.
Kagumi is my daughter and Soichiro's daughter. I'm going to divorce Rei and raise her.
That's not the issue here. Why don't you understand?
All you ever were was a daycare. And because it was convenient, I was using you. That's all. Don't get it twisted.
Ugh.
That kid is my treasure. Don't try to steal her from me. I'm not gonna let you.
It looks like there's no use discussing this any further. We're going to call my parents and Rei's parents, and we can all discuss what's going to happen from here.
I'm sure that's what my brother would want as well.
I've also recorded this entire conversation, and I'm going to be sending Rei all of that data.
How dare you! What do you think you're doing? Please, don't do anything too wild. You're going to be at a disadvantage. Ow! Ow! Let go of me! Kotomi, I'm sure my brother is going to desire a divorce, and I hope you're prepared for that.
No!
Kotomi, next time you better tell Mom and Dad everything.
No!
My brother-in-law requested leave from work and came back, and he hired a lawyer and got a divorce. My sister tried to resist until the very end, but ended up having to sign. My parents fronted the settlement fee and then disowned her. From now on, she's probably going to be cornered with debt. On the other hand, Soichiro's affair became a rumor within the company. It was also discovered that he was messing around with multiple other female employees, and among those was his boss's wife. In the end, he was fired from his job, and currently nobody knows what's happened to him. According to my brother-in-law, he transferred the full settlement fee in one payment. Kagumi is growing really big. She's also eating so much baby food, too.
I'm really relieved to hear that. A lot happened, but in the end, I just want Kagome to be happy. That's how I feel. Because the baby did nothing wrong.
Thank you for worrying about her. My parents said that they would help, so I'm planning on moving home and living with them.
The only thing I can do is to root for you, but I do hope you'll take care of yourself, too.
I wanted to raise Kagumi. When I spoke to my parents about this, they said, I'm sure it's going to be difficult to do by yourself, so let's adopt her. So now, little Kagumi, who used to be my niece, has officially become my little sister. I'm sure it was a really difficult decision for them, but I'm really grateful to my parents. And I want to continue to protect my precious family forever. With that thought as my motivation, I'm going to put all into my work.